Good morning, everybody. I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest Truck Trailer RV, just off Interstate 25 in Fredrick, Colorado, north of Denver, about 30 minutes or so. Behind me, a really cool trailer from Cimarron. It's their Norstar 4-horse, Trainer's Tack, air ride, hay pod, fully enclosed, weather tight. We got a lot of different stuff going on this trailer. You may see a few floating around there on the market. This is definitely going to be the only one you're going to see with the air ride. So really nice feature. The one thing I tell a lot of customers is once you go into an air ride trailer, you'll never go out of it. So we'll get into the business end of things really quickly and then get into all the features of the backside of the trailer, whether it's storage or horse compartment. But 2 5/16 inch coupler, big heavy duty safety chains. Please folks, even with your goosenecks, use your safety chains. And then over here you see Cimarron. There's not a lot of small little touches with the Cimarrons that I like, and this is one of them. Just the coiled breakaway switch for our emergency breakaway cable. Keep some of that clutter out of the backs of our trucks. When we get over here to the other side, you'll see I talk about little small things. This holder is for our 7-pin. Don't have it plugged in right now or stored in here because I've got it plugged into a little battery pack. But again, like I said, the small things kind of make the big difference. Not leaving that thing hanging in the dirt or the rain or the mud or something like that, wintertime or summertime. So let's talk about a lot that we've got going on in here. First and foremost, we've got a 12-volt deep cycle battery that's going to run a lot of our different accessories that we've got going on this trailer, whether it's our air ride, our electric over hydraulic jack. But a bonus that we get with that is we can also run all of our interior lights in our tack, in our horse area, and our load lights alike too. One thing that we always suggest whenever you're using the trailer or not using the trailer, I guess I should say, whether it's overnight or you're putting it away for the season, always turn your battery disconnect on. A trailer like this, especially with that closed-in Trainer's Tack on the passenger side, be really easy to leave an LED on and kill your battery, so you don't want to do that. Now, big part of our system in here is our air rides. Fully self-contained system. It's a set it and forget it. When you're trailering down the road, you'll turn it on. We're going to leave that off so we don't have to listen to it while I'm trying to talk. But this will raise its integrated tank up to about 120, 140 psi. It'll always maintain that pressure. And then you have a valve here on the right side. It's as simple as raise and lower. Up is lower, lower is raise. But what you're going to get with this air ride is when you're in the inflated, driving down the road, raised setting, you're going to be 3 or 4 inches higher than when you lower it. So nice for unloading, nice for using the trailer throughout the weekend. Lower that suspension down a little bit and your step height's going to be a little bit lower. So close this all up. It is locked, so a little bit of added security. You can turn off that disconnect as well, and you have that option. Electric over hydraulic jack. Really nice system with these. They are fast, they are quick. There's a quick switch, a keyed switch behind me that's really easy to operate. And again, it's keyed too, so a bit more security with that. Be able to take that key with you and deter anybody from trying to raise or lower your trailer and get it hooked up to their own rig. Full-size matching spare here as well. So if you ever have a blowout, really nice to be able to throw a matching spare on there and not have that rusty old steel wheel that we've all seen under our goosenecks. Another thing too, if you want to add it into your tire rotation, buy a little more life out of all 4 of your tires. All 5 of your tires, you can absolutely do that. One more thing before we get into tack room, just talk a little bit of numbers and a little bit of measurements. One big measurement that Cimarron has improved upon greatly, we've all got the late model trucks now that have got taller bed heights, deeper bed depths where our hitch disconnects. So what we've done now, and we've found it really easy to gain the clearance that we need now between our truck bed height and our bed rails of our truck, and also keep our trailer riding level, is that they've increased the distance here between our gooseneck drop and our lower frame. So measurement on these now is 53 inches. Gains us a lot of that extra clearance that we need. One of those questions that we get a lot. Even if your truck's running a little bit bigger wheel and tire or a small lift, we can still usually get these riding pretty level. So first and foremost, that obviously take this a step up and above from just a standard 4-horse trailer is this Trainer's Tack setup. So whether you're running a bunch of client horses around, whether you're training a bunch yourself to resell or something like that, you've got the room to bring all the equipment you need in here, and we can obviously very easily keep it separated from our separate gooseneck area on the opposite side. So first and foremost, you see we are complete double Dutch doors here. We've got some brush boxes in each door and they're fully carpeted. I like this one quite a bit too because we've got some hooks up above too. Standard Cimarron hooks that are a lot more heavy duty and a lot deeper too. Step into the trailer, we've got a fold down step. They're actually two separate steps, so if you just want to open this door independently, flop down a step to reach in and grab something real quick, you have that ability. But when you get into here is where we see a lot of different options too. First and foremost is the gray rubber tread flooring. So no more rubber mats to pull out, no more rubber mats that stuff gets under and accumulates, whether it's hay and straw or shavings or just kind of life on the farm. We know that stuff is always going to accumulate under there. So this is permanently sealed to the floor and around the walls. Really, really nice material. We're seeing this in a lot of commercial areas, high travel areas too. So holding up really well for us. And then you will see all of our walls where our saddle racks are all shared the same carpet as well. So we're going to keep things really, really quiet in here. We've got some hanging storage above me, but everything behind these, whether we've got some metal stirrups or girths that are banging up against those walls, nice to have that carpeted and keep things looking neat and clean. All three of these posts that we have saddle racks on, fully adjustable. If we want to move a couple of these down to the floor, if you think you could maybe fit 3 in there, depending on what kind of gear you're running, you have that ability. And then also, we have talked about some saddle pad pole holders over on the door, but we can also add some of those to these track systems as well, something that we keep in our parts department, so it would be really easy to slip these in before you took delivery of a kind of trailer like this. And then above us, you will see a full width from side to side in this entire area. We have got our, again, Cimarron's really heavy duty hooks here. So endless opportunities to hang all your headgear, whether bridles, halters, whatever else you need. And then these are stout enough too that you could very easily hang some extension cords, some shorter hoses, that kind of stuff from these as well. And then carpeted behind all of that, and then backlit with a couple of their bright big LEDs too, switched here just on your easy access door that you first open up. So again, no trickery involved in running these lights how it's set up right now with that 12-volt deep cycle service. Anytime you're not hooked up to a truck, flip on your battery disconnect and you can run these lights to grab something out of here if you need to. So we'll flip these off. We'll start kind of closing up the trailer a little bit as we go along, but you'll see this big spring-loaded cam latch. Close this one up first. One thing I want to take note of as we do close this door up is that we've also got a combo lock on this door as well. So like I said, if you're working with some clients, you're at a show, the trailer's parked down in storage somewhere, and you want to give them the combo to get in here and grab a couple saddles or some bridles or something like that, you can do that. You don't have to mess around trying to find a set of keys as well. And then both our steps, like you see on a lot of our Cimarrons, are on those gas shocks. So there's no hardware, there's no pin, there's nothing to get gunked up with all that road grime. Out here we got a lot of gravel roads and a lot of dirt and dust, and that can accumulate in a lot of those kind of spring-loaded latches. So nice that those are just held in place with that gas shock. So really quick, we'll talk quickly. Obviously a big added option on this side here is our drop windows. Wide open airflow with these guys. We're gonna move a lot of airflow through the trailer. We'll talk more about roof vents and our head side drop windows as well when we get inside. But the ability to drop these down, we've been flirting with triple digits all week here in Colorado. And so the ability to open this thing wide up and have our horses have it at least much airflow over them as possible, whether that air is hot or cold, is probably a moot point this week here. But again, like I said, you can move all of these, drop all of these down, move a lot of air over your horses. And then wintertime, you're still gonna have some bust windows in all of these drop windows. So if you just wanna move a little air through them, you have that ability to really kind of control what you're doing. So all closed up like that, you'll see a couple different things we've got going on around this trailer. First and foremost, tie rings right in between each window. obviously we've got our tack room right there, so really nice to be able to tie up here. Above that we have some awning lights too, so late nights, early mornings, we're getting closer and closer to fall, so the time will change at some point, and then we'll really utilize those lights a lot more. Nice to have the LEDs. They can really change night into day. And then before we make it any further down, above our awning lights, you will see we have a fully enclosed hay pod. So it's a standalone hay pod, but it's got a lid on the top of it that is fully weather strip and weather tight. So really nice spot for storage, really nice spot obviously to throw some hay if you're on your way to a show and you need to bring that with you. But again, nice spot to throw some totes, stuff that you're going to use seasonally, and carry around with you, and know that it's always going to be weather tight. So now working our way down to the other side of things, we talked about air right up front. We talked about the integrated system, the control panel up there in the battery box, but let's talk about the system itself. It is a 7,000 pound rated system. They are Dexter torsion axles with an air ride system adapted to that. So what that means is that you're never dead in the water. If you have a dead battery, if you have an air leak, you can still run down the road as if these are on a torsion axle, because they are on a torsion axle. So again, you're never dead in the water, and like I said, a lot of our customers that make that switch to the air ride system say they will never go back. Two reasons for that. I think most importantly is the recoup time that they see on their horses after a long road trip. No longer are they waiting a full day to kind of really see them re-energize. They're riding a lot smoother. It's a lot nicer environment for them. And then secondarily to that, I think your equipment really benefits from that. The fact that as a driver, I can feel it in the seat of my pants going over a bridge in my truck, and then I don't feel the trailer over it, I think is a really big testament to that. So we're on 16-inch wheels. We have electric drum brakes behind that. Make sure your tow vehicle has a trailer brake controller and that you have control over those brakes. With 4 horses and a full load on this trailer, it will weigh a lot more than it does sitting here empty. So you want to be able to always be able to change that setting as well. We'll work our way around to the back of the trailer. You will see we are a full width rear ramp over here, and then double doors. So first and foremost, with these larger kind of gaps and openings, we like to do a strap there, just an added little security blanket barrier for our rearmost horse. But with the double doors, first and foremost, we've got a window in each, so we can kind of keep that air moving through the back of this trailer even too. We don't get it stuck back here swirling around our rearmost horse. But you can leave one closed while you try and sneak in and grab a horse, and you have a bit more ability with that ramp over too. Now, a lot of customers ask to add ramps. That's absolutely something we can do. If you ever want to remove a ramp with Transwest, we would be happy to do that too. It's an easy task, and we can add a rear bumper for that. A lot of different things and accessories and add-ons and deletes that we could do for you here at Transwest if that's something you're interested in. Before we get too deep into the inside of the trailer, let's look down and talk about Werm flooring. Werm perfectly complements Cimarron flooring. With their all aluminum flooring, the Werm is a non-porous flooring, rubberized flooring that we pour in over the aluminum. It's a permanent barrier against any kind of urine, anything that's going to come out of our horses that's going to get tracked in here. Our suggestion on maintenance with the Werm flooring is once a year, nose it up, just like you would with your rubber mats, but now you don't have to pull your mats anymore. Pressure wash it out, get a good clean on it, and let all that water drain out of the back. And again, in terms of maintenance of the floor itself, no longer do you have to pull mats and check on things. Our biggest suggestion is when you do have your chassis maintenance done, your brakes and your bearings and your greasing done, that you have a crawl underneath it and have a good look and make sure everything looks good from the underside. But otherwise, you've got that permanent seal with the Werm flooring. Other big benefit from that, obviously not having to pull rubber mats, but another nice cushion for our horses, kind of complements that air ride system quite a bit too. So we're a 4-horse trailer, fully padded dividers. We'll talk, they've got the airflow design through them too. We'll talk a little bit about that with the mangers as well. But you'll see everywhere Cimarron has any connection points, first and foremost, this is what they call their slam latch. So whenever you're leading a horse in, certainly you're one-handed. One's going to be on a shank, one's going to be on a horse, and another one hopefully will be helping you a little bit. do this. But slam latch, so you can do that one-handed, but then also plastic on metal. So really keeps the noise down running down the road, and then really helps with that wear and tear. We've all seen the old metal hinges or metal clasps that are metal on metal that have a lot of wear on them. So that's a big difference too. And then I'm not pulling on this one. It's pushing on me quite a bit, and we're even leaning to the passenger side quite a bit. So they're spring loaded, and they will hold themselves right over there pretty strongly. And then when we get to the frontmost stall, our first stall, you'll see we have a full stud divider. Multiple purpose to outfit an inventory trailer like this with a full stud divider. First and foremost, if you do have a spicy horse that you want to get up there and kind of keep them sequestered a little bit, you can do that. But these work as great storage areas, secondary storage areas too. Little extra hay, a little more shaving, stuff that you couldn't fit up in the hay pod or something like that. And then you will see, as opposed to doing the solid dividers to keep everything moving a lot of air through these trailers, we've done the jail bar kind of style, which we would call the airflow. And even this big guy, again, like I said, we are leaning my way quite a bit, wants to hold itself over there to the driver's side, which is really nice. Again, anytime you're loading horses, you've got your hands tied up with them, you want to be able to have that ability to kind of be a little more free and work a little bit more free. Like we said, padded dividers, even added a pad on this partition wall here for our number 1 horse. And then you'll see throughout on the kick wall over our fenders. We'll talk about why we have fenders inside the trailer in a second. We've got kick mats throughout. So the one reason that we do have fenders in this trailer and that we see that protrusion into the inside compartment here is because we are an 8-foot wide trailer. We're an 8-foot wide trailer for a multitude of reasons, but that's a big reason we do that, is so that we can get some space, extra space for our mangers over here on driver's side. But again, like I said, to buy us a lot more of that extra floor space, that's why we see some of that fender well inside the trailer. So number 1 horse here, like I said, we are a stud divider. We have an escape door out here too. So like I said, really a big reason why this space ends up getting used for storage. But because we've got that escape door, we lose our manger there. So we did do a little corner hay feeder for you here. Really nice little option if you do want to offer something to your horses while you're heading down the road. And then we'll get this stud divider closed back up and you give you a good look. 18-inch divider, or 18-inch manger. That's the depth of our manger off of that wall to the inside of our trailer. And again, really nice spot there to offer some feed, hay, whatever we want to do for our horses. And then we'll talk about the jail bars for the drop windows, and you have easy access to the head of each horse from the outside if you want to offer them some hay or some water or some feed or something like that. So as we get this thing closed up, we'll talk a little bit about Cimarron's roof. They do a fully insulated roof panel. It's a 1-piece construction from front to back. Your only seams are along the outside edges. About a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 inch thick material. It's kind of a honeycomb design. First and foremost, we see an R3 insulation factor out of that. So compared to the competition with an aluminum skinned roof on these 100-degree days, we see a 10 to a 15-degree temperature difference inside of these trailers. So makes a really, really big difference in that department. Secondarily to that too, it's got quite a bit of a structural component to it too. So if you're up there checking on your hay rack, if you're loading things up, we have a little bit of a stand-in area for you to kind of load and staging area up there. But if you're checking the rest of your roof, if you're on a Cimarron LQ and you're doing some AC service or something like that, you can feel free to walk around throughout the roof. You don't have to look for the bows anymore or the cross members or anything like that. Secondarily to that too, we see they hold up pretty well in hail out here in hail country, so that's a nice little secondary bonus to that. And then you will see also above the head of each and every horse is a 2-way roof vent. Really nice summertime to suck some air through. You can push those open and they will suck the air down through the trailer, bring it right over your horses and out your back windows. Really nice to move some air around that way. And then wintertime, if you do have this thing closed up a little bit tighter and you've got a full load in here of 4, they can create a lot of body heat. They can create a lot of condensation in the roof of these trailers. Nice to open those up backwards and get a little bit of air moving out of this trailer in that colder weather. So I'll close up the rear doors here. Get the door holds first before I can close those. On the driver's side here, we have what we call the easy angle ladder. So it's actually got the same kind of paddle latch holding it against the wall there that we have for all of our doors. And so no longer do you kind of have to make your way up that hayloft ladder at a straight angle and feel a little bit awkward about it. It's as simple as pulling it out of that latch. It sits really nicely there right on that ramp, and like the name implies, you've got that easily angled ladder to climb up there. And then you will see right along the roof line too that we've got a swing out gate on 2/3 on passenger side there too. So if you've got your loader up there, if you're nosing it up there with a load of hay, obviously swing that gate off to the side and you can very easily load up your hay pod that way. Once you climb back down, you can get this guy right back in its paddle latch, and then everything on the trailer, even these paddle latches just like that, are keyed. So if you want to lock that down, you have that ability to. We'll pull the ramp up really quick just to kind of give you a look on the outside of it. One thing you'll notice, we are running some lights for us, full LEDs all the way around the trailer. Standard option now, standard no longer an option now through Cimarron is the reverse light in the taillight. Cimarron does 4 taillights across the back of the trailer. I really like that for visibility. Every one of those 4 has that integrated reverse light in there too. So no changes to the 7-pin. It's just been a really underutilized system in that. So you saw the mangers under the rear 3 horses, excuse me. But this is what we would call a broom closet. A lot of time that rear corner you would see kind of for a folding rear tack. And this is a different approach to a bit more storage that we've taken. Obviously a ton of hanging storage. If you want to bolt up a water tank in here, that's a really nice option, a really nice spot to do it. Bring some water from home, you have that option. And then again, like I've been talking about all day, these hooks are really tall and really stout. So we've all gotten to a show, gotten home, and found all of our tack laying on the floor in a heap, bouncing off the hooks. And again, like I said, a lot deeper, a lot taller, and really stout too. I can nearly hang off of these. And this is also lit as well with one of their Opti brights. So again, the whole trailer is going to be lit. If you're working in the middle of the night and you need to see things, if you're in an evac situation and you want to have some lights to get loaded up, Cimarron does a really nice job of lighting these trailers up. This guy closed back up, and we'll start talking about drop windows on the head side. Obviously, all the head side windows have jail bars, and my favorite part about the jail bars on the Cimarrons is there's no mechanism, there's no latch, there's nothing to get these to drop out of that track. If you're at a fuel stop, if you're getting ready to unload and you want to clip some shanks on and get some access to the heads of your horses, you have that ability. All you've got to do is raise it just a little bit, drop it in and out of that track, and it's as simple as that. No latching mechanism, like I said. And then to close these guys back up, give them a good slam and you're as good to go. We'll get a couple of these closed up and we'll have a look at the mangers underneath, which out here afford us a ton more storage. We've got some more of the gray tread bright inside, which is a great protector because we've all seen the aluminum trailers going down the road or the old steel trailers going down the road with the marks from all of our headgear bumping up against us. Again, like I said, really well lit as well. And you have access throughout the whole manger from front to back from any door that you want to get. I really like these spots. Good spot to throw some tire changing kit, a jack, a ramp, the wrenches that you need and that kind of stuff, maybe some safety triangles too. Really easy access to get it to if you do have some kind of emergency or need it. And then again, great storage for all the rest of your extra equipment and tack too. This is our escape door. We talked about this from the inside. Drop window's a little bit smaller just to fit inside the framework, but same concept, no change to any of the mechanism there or lack thereof. And then one thing you'll note too about the drop windows is they've got a big suction cup that holds them really nice and tight against the side of these trailers. I've now gone through a few crosswinds and seen these things flap themselves all the way closed even. So nice to know that those are gonna hold themselves down flat. And then anytime we share a space, a door like this in any kind of horse area, we'll double latch it with a paddle latch and the secondary latch. And everything's lockable. And then again, a nice little chest bar there too. If we are trying to gain access in here while we've got a horse in here, nice to have a little bit of a security. Just kind of a nice ball and socket, pops out as easy as that. I clipped over that feed bag while we were inside of there. And again too, if you're gonna use this for storage, it's a great spot, and you have a ton of easy access that way too. Now, we talked all about the Trainer's Tack and all the tack storage that you actually have in this trailer, equipped with 6 saddle racks on the opposing side, tons of hanging storage, tons of storage behind me in that broom closet as well. Whether this is just a blank slate for a bunch more totes and trunks to take along to the show, or you're going to spend some weekends up here and throw a mattress and a bedroll up here, it's a great way to stay separated from all of that stuff. So just as we do at the Trainer's Tack, you'll see we have a combo lock there on the door and a flip out step to get in. So really nice, easy access. And then our flooring, just like you've seen throughout the trailer, is still that gray rubber tread, which we like this material, like I said, quite a bit. And it's a permanent seal down to the floor, so don't have to worry about anything getting under it. First and foremost, when you work your way in here, we do have a shelf just on the right side as we enter. It's got a nice little lip with a little rubber mat in there too, so we know stuff's not gonna fall out of it. Great spot to throw some hat boxes or something like that. And then just below it, the length of the shelf itself too is a clothes rod. So nice to be able to get a ton of stuff. If you've gotten some students that are coming with you or clients that are coming with you, nice to be able to get all your clothes and coats and that kind of stuff out of the back of your truck and get them in here and get yourself a little bit more organized. And then obviously this is the back side of our saddle racks are opposing us, but we've got a great big shelf out of this too. Whatever kind of storage you want to use this for, if you want to throw a little single bedroll up here with a sleeping bag for one of your students to sleep in, obviously that'd be a great spot for them too. But like I said, kind of just a blank slate to use really as however suits you for this area. Really nice to be able to have that extra space. And then looking forward, first and foremost, you'll see huge wide open space there again too. Big oversized bus windows, so if you are going to throw an air mattress or a bedroll up there, you can get some little cross breeze going through those two windows, and they are screened and to complement Cimarron's insulated roof. That's going to help you out a lot to stay a lot more comfortable in there. And as you can see up in the nose, a big OptiBrite LED to keep things lit up for you too. Another clothes hanger rod just above that window too. So some stuff, if you're going to kind of just use it seasonally, nice to be able to hang that up and out of the way. And then carpeted throughout anywhere we've got excuse me, our gooseneck drop wall, our gooseneck there too, keeps it a little bit cozier. And then at the bottom of our gooseneck drop wall, full width between our storage here and the outside wall, a nice big deep boot box. Again, more storage, get stuff out of the way. Acts multi-purpose, obviously. Nice little bench to get changed or take a load off for a few minutes, and then acts as an easy step to get up into your storage, your bedroom, whatever you're going to use that for up there. So again, I think storage abounds in this trailer if that's really what you're looking for. If you're moving, if you're doing a ton of traveling down the road with the air ride system and the amount of stuff that you'd be able to bring with you on this trailer, this is certainly going to help you do that a lot easier than most. So we'll work our way back outside. If you guys have any questions about this trailer, other trailers in our inventory, you can reach out to me a multitude of different ways. Email is luke.sullivan@transwest.com. It's down below. My cell phone, feel free to call or text me anytime, 859-509-1282. If you want to talk about tow vehicles and weights and ratings, we can get you spec sheets on this trailer specifically. Again, please feel free to reach out. And then if you want to reference this trailer specifically, its stock number is 5N250326. Thanks for your time today, everybody. También hablo español.